My girlfriend is upset that I checked her location. She is definitely hiding something.
I want to know where you are at all times.
My girlfriend, female 25, and I, male 28, have been in a relationship together for 8 months. She is currently away on holiday with some friends. She works hard, and this is more of a party trip for her with friends, which I'm okay with because she needs some time to chill out, given the amount of stress her work puts her under. By the way, this comes from user somedinner1057, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit and submit it there. So, tonight, she went out to a club, and as I am still home and up early for work, I said goodnight to her, I love you, etc., blah, 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 I love you. And I asked her to let me know when she got back to the hotel. I'm a terrible sleeper, and I wake up sometimes multiple times at night. It was 3:30 in the morning for me when I woke up, 4:30 in the morning where she is, and I hadn't heard from her yet. So I messaged and asked if she was okay. Then, because we share locations with each other on Snapchat, and thinking maybe she got back to her hotel and passed out from drinking, I thought to check that. Her location from the hour before wasn't at the club, and wasn't anywhere near the hotel she was staying at, nor any possible route a taxi would take there and back. Opposite direction type deal. I called her and she didn't pick up, but she started messaging me a couple minutes later saying she was fine and just got back to the hotel and sent a photo of the food she was eating. This is where I feel weird because I asked her when she left the club and she said 4 at her time. Her Snap location from 30 minutes before then had her miles away from there. So I asked if she was sure and she said yes. I then brought up the fact that I had Snap maps and she got immediately defensive. Initially, she tried saying that the map doesn't show the club, which it does. And then she said that she was getting upset that I was checking in on her and made me feel like I was wrong to be doing that. I feel weird about that last part because as your partner, of course, I will be worried if you're in a foreign country where drink is involved, you were at a club and showing as miles away from where you said you were. I'm trying to think this was just Snapchat being weird, but can it be that far off? I'm talking like 3 miles away. The location it showed her by was near some houses. I really don't know how I should feel about it. She's gone to sleep for now and assured me she's in her hotel, but I still feel really mixed about how defensive she got about it, when literally all I was worried about her safety. Can someone share their perspective and thoughts on this? And there is an update. It's like, so here's what I'd have to say about this. If this was your daughter, sure, you're her father. Like, you're worried about her. You want to know. You call her. Look, check her location. You're not her dad, though.
Yeah.
I feel like life is inherently risky and dangerous. And sometimes we just have to be like, this is a person who is a whole person, and they're going to live their life. And seeing as you're not there, what were you going to do?
Yeah. I do think sharing a location with someone is, I mean, I do it with a lot of people, so it's like maybe less meaningful for me. But but I feel like for a lot of people, it is a sign of like, hey, I trust you with information of where I am at all times.
Yeah.
And I think there are moments, I mean, with my friends, I will like actively reach out to them and say like, hey, I'm doing this thing. You have my location. I'll let you know when I'm back. If you need to check on me and I seem like I'm not in the right place, thanks.
Yeah. It's a conversation you have before the trip. It's like, hey, we're going to share our locations. You can check up on me. Not like a wake up in the middle of the night and like do detective work to figure out if she's actually where you think she is.
Like, again,
out of
he might be right.
Right.
Sure. But you still need to have a conversation about why you're feeling these feelings.
I was feeling like crap, hurt, confused, and everything in between after she went to sleep. I conveyed my emotions to her and said I wanted to speak over the phone or in person about how I'm feeling, and that I wasn't done or ready to move on yet from what happened and how I felt about her getting defensive. She ended up stalling all day while going out to enjoy her holiday, and occasionally, if my feelings came up, she would casually try to press me to come out and text her what I wanted to say. But I stood firm with wanting to actually speak to her. After a night of no sleep, I ended up passing out at some point for a couple of hours, waking up around 11:30 p.m. my time, and I messaged her once again, completely putting myself out there and basically said all I want is to speak to my partner about my feelings and that I found it odd she couldn't find the time to have a conversation, and that I was seriously hurting and not okay. She eventually got back to her hotel room around midnight for me and initially messaged again saying that she would rather have the conversation in person and that I'm not considering her comfort at all. She cited that she's in a shared room with her friend and would rather have the conversation in a safe place at home. I told her that I do understand where she's coming from, but I was at the end of my rope and I really need to just speak with my girlfriend, and she still hasn't acknowledged that. Then it gets worse. She ends up calling me a few minutes after, and I go into it. I bring up that I'm not feeling okay, and I'm hurt and confused by her defensive reaction when I was approaching her in a non-accusatory way, and from a place of genuine concern, considering she hadn't messaged me yet, and it was 3:30 a.m. for me, 4:30 where she was. Not even a, hey, just leaving the club, and then the location discrepancy on top of it. She then leaned heavily into saying that I'm not listening to her story and that I don't trust her, and was checking up on her because I didn't believe she would message me. She wasn't grasping that I could be coming to her from a place of genuine worry and only fixated on trying to explain away my feelings by saying I didn't trust her, I'm being insecure, and I need therapy for my trust issues. I was baffled and started getting upset at the personal attacks. And the conversation turned into an argument where I kept reiterating that any normal partnership would get worried given the information I had at the time. But she kept saying I wasn't listening. And even though I said I understand why she felt that way, what I'm saying contradicts that, which I said to her moments before that as I felt what she was saying was how I understand where you're coming from, but so and so wasn't her hearing me at all. And when I asked her what I specifically said that contradicts myself, she couldn't provide any examples. About 5 or 10 minutes of not getting anywhere, I shut down the conversation and said, look, this is the last time I'm saying it. I do trust you. I came from a place of genuine concern over your safety, and it has nothing to do with my insecurities or therapy. I was upset and confused by your defensive reaction and avoiding this conversation until now, and I feel like right now this conversation isn't going anywhere and only pissing both of us off. I'm sorry that you feel like I don't trust you, but you're not listening to me. I don't fully remember what she replied with as I was angry, but she stated her final piece at how she was upset and this has effed her up and that she needs to speak to her mom to properly process everything. Okay.
I gotta talk to my mom.
I mean, not necessarily a red flag, but like, wow, you can't sort out your own thoughts?
I don't know. I think this is a little bit
to this level.
Yeah.
What kind of insight is your mom going to have to your relationship with this guy?
If this was a normal, like if she had truly done nothing, I think this is how it would have gone. I think he would have said, hey, I like checked your thing and you aren't where you said you were going to be. And she would have said like, hey, yeah, maybe either, Snapchat is off or, oh yeah, we ended up going out to another place after. Sorry, I forgot to update you on that. It
would have been, oh, don't worry, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that you're feeling stressed out over me. Don't worry, I'm here with my friends. We're all taking care of each other.
That would have
been the response.
Yeah.
My girlfriend didn't interject, and I was quiet until her friend stopped talking. I asked her if I could say one more thing before we ended the call. My girlfriend said no, that she had to go. So not only did my partner not stand up for me, but I feel like she actively tried to blame shift, dismiss, and or explain away my feelings by belittling them into insecurities and trust issues. When all I did was react and have genuine cause for concern about her safety. I sent a final message once the call was over that didn't deliver because she shut her phone off, explaining that I don't like how her friend was talking about me and it wasn't needed at all, that I needed space to process things, and all I wanted to do was convey my emotions to my partner. I told her if she still wanted to meet face-to-face after the holiday to let me know. She did respond rather coldly in the morning, saying that she also needed space and would message me on Saturday when she's back. And by the way, you can Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, literally wherever you listen to podcasts. All you got to do is search OK Storytime. I think the solution here is that if you have principles, like, I don't think I'd date this person anymore.
Yeah.
I think I'm breaking up with my girlfriend now.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like this is a indicator of something larger, like a larger problem in your relationship. I do think I would wait at least until she gets back from this trip. I wouldn't do it. Oh yeah, no, you do
the breakup in person for sure.
Well, no, just I think have a conversation in person too. Because clearly I mean, and that might end.
So you're not on breakup yet. You're like, maybe have one more conversation
I think so.
and see where it goes.
It might end in a breakup. I don't think that OP would be wrong in that, but I do think that having a conversation in person away from her friend while she's not on a vacation is always good. Because
True.
people, they're not really thinking about everything that's going on back home, and they're thinking about having fun and partying and stuff, which doesn't excuse their behavior,
Yeah.
but it doesn't contribute to like having an effective conversation.
Here's my theory.
Yeah.
Because we're both on the she definitely cheated train, right? Right?
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Something. So I think they've been together 8 months. I bet you that it's that like sort of like parent energy, like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? All the time has probably like maybe worn her out a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's probably been venting to her work friends about how her man is so like, ugh. And now you're out on a big girlies trip, and that friend who's like, you have nothing to apologize for.
She's definitely complained.
I would bet you money
complained.
that she pushed her to like, go talk to that cute guy over there. Oh my God, we're only going to be alive in here one time. Today only happens today. Go talk to that man. He's cute. And I bet you she did.
Yep.
And I bet you it was a team effort. Unfortunately. But that's just my conspiracy. That's my theory.
I hope not.
And that's not a fact. That's a theory.
Theoretical.
All right. I've gone through all of the emotions at this point, from wanting to work it out with her to I'm going to walk away. The problem is, up until this holiday she's gone on, I was completely emotionally invested into this relationship, and I still am. But I think the best thing for me to do at this point is to walk away, because the more time passes from that conversation, the more I feel like I can't convey my feelings to her and know that she'll support me. I feel like she weaponized what I was saying to her and tried to manipulate my emotions by telling me how I feel and belittling them by saying my worrying was just trust issues and insecurities. At this point, I'm leaning towards walking out of this. Is there a projection coming from her end here?
Oh, that's it?
She is a big screen projector, dude.
Oh, man.
Of course. Dude, the fact that she said nothing about your feelings other than that they don't exist, huge red flag.
Yeah.
And the reason she's so defensive is because she's got to play defense. Because I think she cheated on you.
I just think if you have nothing to hide, you aren't this defensive.
Yeah, the response would have been like, oh, dang, you've been tripping over me and my safety? Well, I'm safe. And I'm gonna be safe with all my friends. So please don't worry about me like that again.
My partner refused to split the hospital bill after I gave birth.
I didn't give birth to the baby, Susan.
$12,000 is the total we need to pay after having our daughter. My partner refuses to contribute because it's my bill, my problem. By the way, this comes from Crying for Winter, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, the hospital bill's the mother and not the father, even though it's our baby. My partner makes slightly more than me. He says he shouldn't need to contribute because he pays for everything else for our daughter. I feel that this isn't fair. Commenter 1 says, bruh, that's actually insane of him. What the F will he do if you get sick? Like, literally, you made a human together and suddenly it's not his problem? What the actual F? OP says he thinks it's not his problem because legally it's not. He said I was billed, and he wasn't billed. He said the mother is the patient, and I was the patient, and the bill is under my name, so it's my bill. He also said, you don't pay for my medical bills. It's your hospital bill under your name. No one told you to take an epidural, which costs $2,000 of the bill. Commenter 2, wow! If he has parents, call him. Either way, I would be looking for a way out if I were you. That is incredibly effed up. OP says, I don't think his parents would care about this. How did you not know about this? They honestly aren't going to want to get involved in our relationship like that. They would just tell us to figure it out as a couple. OP should give her baby her family name instead of the father's name. OP says, it's too late for that. My baby was born 5 months ago. My baby has the father's name. Can OP file for child support and make it legally her partner's problem? OP says, if I file for child support, he still wouldn't be legally obligated to pay for my medical bill. I would have to use child support for my baby, which isn't a lot of money to begin with, so I can't just use it on my medical bills. OP responds to a comment on if she is allowed to change her baby's last name. OP says, I don't think I can. I Googled it. I would have to do so much work, like file position and get the consent of the father, which he won't allow me to do. Also attended court hearing, obtaining court hearing, and amend the birth certificate. And most likely it wouldn't get approved. That's a lot of work and stress. Anyways, changing the last name of the baby isn't my main concern. I don't care if my baby has his last name. Why is the cost so much? Oh, commenter. Doesn't OP have health insurance that would cover the hospital bill? OP says that's the cost after insurance. I had complications and honestly I expected it to cost more. OP explains her state laws on who pays the hospital bill. OP says even if we were married, it wouldn't change anything. In my state, it isn't required for your spouse to pay your medical bills. I was venting to my friend about this, and one of my friends is in law, and she said even if I was married, my spouse wouldn't be automatically liable for the medical debt of your partner. It depends on what state, and it's a slippery slope. Why is OP staying with her partner? OP says, I do love him. It is also financial security. It's impossible to live off one income, especially now with a baby. And there is an update. Yeah.
Read that back.
You don't
Financial
know.
security. He's not giving you any.
He's not giving you any. He's making you pay $12,000 for a baby that he is also his baby.
And
$12,000 for a baby is also his baby.
If he's going to fundamentally approach parenting from that position of like, well, this is what I pay for all this stuff. It's like it's like you're talking about a dog. It's like it's not even a kid.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he's not fit to be a parent if that's how he's approaching it.
I just think it's also the fact that he said you didn't have to get an epidural. Like this man knows nothing about pregnancy, nothing about giving birth. I mean, just how freaking
dude, if you put your
like uninformed,
you put your ear up to this guy's ear, you hear the ocean.
Yeah.
That's how empty his brain is. His
Yep.
head. What brain? He has no brain. He has an empty head.
But there is an update. My partner was acting weird the other day when I grabbed his phone to call my phone to find it. I couldn't get his reaction out of my head when he freaked out when I grabbed his phone. I went through his phone. My partner cheated on me while I was pregnant. He claims he didn't cheat on me because it doesn't count because it was a white girl. He had spicy sleep with her because it was a one-time opportunity that he always wanted to try. This is the stupidest thing anyone has ever said to me. He said it wasn't serious, and I know that he's not cuffing no white girl. How he's still here with me and our baby at the end of the day. A man may wander around, but he always comes home to his family at the end of the day. Wow, I don't know what to do. Leaving is the first thing that comes to mind, but I'm a new mother. I just had a baby. We're stuck in a lease together for another year. I can't afford to be on my own. I have to stay here regardless, and I'm just gonna make it awkward for breaking up with him just to still come home to him every day. There are some comments. Comment 1, this is where the 50-50 culture gets women. Now men don't want to pay the hospital bills for their birth of their legacies. What is happening with men right now? And still he will expect the baby to have his last name. Women are getting scammed in these relationships. This is why so many women don't want to get married and have children anymore. Women are doing everything alone. Women need to put everything on paper and make these guys understand that 50-50 in a marriage is not right.
Why are you hanging on that? That has nothing to do with this. This guy is completely unfit to be a parent or a partner.
What? I don't...
And
what is
this has nothing to do with 50-50, you absolute... you mouth breather.
You're giving more than your share because you can literally pass away giving birth. I agree with that comment. Your body and your mind will change forever. Women will keep getting played by patriarchy if we don't stop romanticizing men. If the most dangerous and reckless thing we can do, make them sign prenups, agreements, and clauses. Otherwise, you will be exploited by men. What? He says, period. 50-50 only benefits the man. They want us to work full-time, pay half the bills, and be maid and nanny while all they do is also work. Make it make sense. Commenter 2 says, his excuses are lame and you know it. That one makes more sense.
Okay. That's now we're on the this is relevant train.
Yeah. Commenter 2 says his excuses are lame and you know it. Start making an exit plan, even if it does take you some time to get it organized. He will cheat again, but will think it's fine because it wasn't serious and he comes back to you at the end of the day. Wishing you strength. And there is an update.
Do not, under any circumstances, stay with this guy. For the love of God.
The thing is that he's not even going to provide you financial security. He's going to be nickeling and diming you the whole relationship. Even more so now that you know that he's cheating. There's just no point in staying in this relationship. I think that you would get, honestly, more financial security if you broke up. If you broke up. and ask for child support. I think you would get more. And you would have to see him less. So that's a win.
And also, there was a comment that's like, if you do leave and you're financially like in a very hard spot, guess what? You qualify for Medicare. You and your baby.
Yeah.
So you will get all of your medical bills paid for.
Update 2. I can't get out of my lease. I've tried. I'm stuck in this lease with him for another year. We're going to be cohabiting and co-parenting. I feel so alone. We go to bed together and I feel like we're still together, but we're not. You guys need to sleep in separate rooms. Our relationship is over. I don't think I can ever get past the cheating. He says his affair doesn't count because it was a one-time opportunity with a white girl. But is it crazy that I would have been less hurt and possibly forgave him if he slept with a black girl instead? I don't know. Maybe it's my own insecurity showing. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Sign his phone number up for every annoying spammy service you can find. OP says, LOL, this would actually irritate him. OP says, OP explains her ex's thoughts on the meaning of cheating. OP says, so his stance on this is one-sided. He thinks men can cheat, no strings attached, because he says men can have spicy sleep with women without emotions, and he can continue with his day and forget it happened, but women can't do the same thing, and it'll stick to her. He says when a man cheats, he just needs a time and a place, but when a woman cheats, she needs a reason. Baby juice DNA is a real thing, too. Like he said, every guy that
completes a deed
in a woman, their baby has those guys' DNA.
Wait, what? Is this guy trying to say that if somebody has had
spicy sleep
has
with
done
other
the
men,
coitus with multiple people, that the baby, has multiple sets of genetics?
Yeah. We already know this. Oh, there it goes. We already know this man is an idiot. We already know.
Are we sure this guy's not from Jupiter? Because he's the dumbest person I've ever seen in my life.
Like he said, every guy that completes a deed in a woman, their baby has those guys' DNA or those men's behavior or physical features of every guy she's ever slept with. So he says it's best to have a baby with a virgin. I wasn't a virgin when I met him, but I have a low spicy sleep count, and he says that's good enough since most women are promiscuous. I hate this man, and this is probably the best he's gonna get body count wise.
Like I almost
hate him.
feel bad for this guy because of how dumb he is. It's like that you would feel bad for like I can't even come up with an example, but it's like imagine how actually maybe it's really I think maybe there's a level of dumb that you can be where life is hard, and then you loop all the way back around, and you're so dumb you can't even conceptualize that things are difficult. So life is like just a breeze for you, no matter what, because you're just that dumb.
So basically, he thinks if a woman cheats, she's a gardening tool, but when a man cheats, he's a king because he's not a loser. If women find him attractive, that means he's doing something right. He said when men have a bunch of women around him, every man and woman included thinks he's cool. But when there's a bunch of men around one woman, everyone's like, ew, gardening tool. It's a double standard for sure. The crazy part is I'm kind of buying his BS.
Why? How are you? Do you have no self-awareness, OP?
The thing is that I think that this man has been like this the whole time. But I literally can't, everything he says is insane, but I literally can't refute any of this except the stupid baby juice DNA stuff. That was just illiterate AF, and he clearly skipped out on biology classes. He claims the DNA stuff came from studies and research.
One of our commenters said, I think it was Deirdre Statham, said, yeah, I sure hope he gets, if the baby juice thing is right, I sure hope the baby gets its intelligence from another guy.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Does OP have family or friends she can go for support? OP says, I really don't. And folks, that's the end of that story.